How do you get your prospects to close themselves whilst not even realizing you're pitching to them? This is what I call the SCP, the self-closed pitch. Now, there are 3 key points you must understand before you learn how to perform the self-closing pitch. But why would you want to perform this kind of pitch? Well, if you go back to one of my previous trainings where I talk about your new frame as a salesperson, you'll remember that it's much easier to sell your product if the prospect convinces themselves that they need it and they want it right now, instead of you having to persuade them endlessly that this is the right thing for them. If you can get them to believe it, it's much, much easier. Think about it. The things that you buy in your everyday life, when you go to the supermarket to buy your favorite brand of pasta, or you go, I don't know, to the store to buy your favorite brand of whatever, no one needs to convince you or persuade you. You just know you want that thing. And by doing the self-closed pitch, we have the same effects on our prospect. Our prospect goes, oh yeah, this is what I want, give it to me. So what are the 3 things we must understand in order to perform this? Point number 1, everyone goes wrong here. Everyone makes this mistake. Your pitch is not a presentation. The part of the sales call, you've done your discovery, built the gap, extracted pain, established the goal. When you get to your pitch, it's not slides on the screen, you talk and they shut up, and it's not you reading it off your script for 10 minutes and they're listening to you. Your pitch is not a presentation. If you make your pitch a presentation, you're going to get the objections like, send me an email, or let me think about it, etc. The reason why this is going to happen, these objections are going to come up here, is because someone has no clarity. If you simply present your pitch and you don't go over it, there will be no clarity, and the confused mind doesn't buy. So instead, your pitch is actually a conversation or a dialogue. Your pitch has to be a conversation that you are in control of, but you're still making sure that the prospect is interacting with you at every step of your pitch. So it's not a presentation, it's a conversation. Now you're probably asking, how do I have a conversation that I'm still in control of? Look out for the next video where I show you. But to give you a teaser, you're going to essentially list out all of your pillars of success. So the things that, the main core components of your product. You're going to perform tie downs, which, if you know anything about me, I love tie downs. If you perform your tie downs properly, it becomes logically impossible for your prospects to say no to you. And as long as you've built a big emotional gap, they won't break that logical barrier. So perform tie downs, and then pretty much from there you just close. The way you do this as a conversation is whenever you state your pillar and you use the tie down, you go straight into a line of questioning, which actually creates a new tie down for the next one. It's a beautiful cycle. State the pillar of your product, perform a tie down, ask a question which creates another tie down. It's amazing. I'll show you guys how to do that. But this sentence right here is really the killer. If you understand this sentence right here and you actually apply this self-closed pitch will become second nature to you. So let's go over it. Your pitch should be the something of something, what they've something didn't something, and why this is something. Now, what does this mean? Let's go over it. Your pitch should be the simultaneous explanation of why what they've tried in the past didn't work and why this is different. If your pitch follows this framework right here of simultaneously explaining why the things they tried in the past didn't work and why this thing you're offering is different, this will equal a close 100% of the time. If you can properly convey this message with your pitch. What does this mean? Well, as you're pitching and you're going through your pillars of your product, doing tie downs, all this kind of stuff, you want to simultaneously kind of crap on what people typically do or what people are typically taught or the typical results and consequences of other products in the marketplace. And then show why yours is different and how you're able to achieve a different result and the effects, the amazing result of that. And what that does is it completely differentiates you from them. It builds a huge gap between you and the typical product. And the bigger this gap is, the more sales you're going to make. So if you follow this framework properly, the gap's going to be huge and someone's going, oh my God, I feel like an idiot for ever having chosen someone else, or poor other people choosing these other products. This is the product to go for. It perfectly solves every typical problem and gets me to my desired outcome without these typical problems, by avoiding these problems and still getting me there. So again, that is how you perform the self-close pitch. Is you must first of all remember your pitch isn't a presentation. It must give someone full clarity. A confused mind doesn't buy. And by doing this, you won't get any real objections or smoke screens. Point number 2 is your pitch is an open conversation. You do your pillar, your tie down, questioning, more tie downs, and then you close. But it's an open conversation. And most importantly, your pitch is the simultaneous explanation as to why what they tried in the past didn't work and why what they're going to do now with you is different. Building that huge gap, that huge difference between you and other people, creating huge differentiation and making someone go, wow, this is the answer. This new thing, this is what I need. You do that properly, closing will never be a problem ever again.